Okay, so today we have Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, text 32 to 34. Yeah, and 34 has purport, so we will chant that one and discuss that one. But we will read also others, no? Like that. Okay. I apologize myself for some English words that may not be properly pronounced, since it's not my native land, as most of you. Okay, so text 32. Rudatyau cha daitangri pankajam sinchantya asray kucha kumkumarunai visrasta kesha varana suchamrinam srijantya akrandanaya vilepire. As the queens loudly cried, their tears glided down their breasts, becoming reddened by kumkum powder, and fell upon the lotus feet of their husband. Their hair became disarrayed, their ornaments fell, and in a way that evoked sympathy from the hearts of others, the queens began lamenting their husband's death. Text 33. Translation. O Lord, you have now been removed by cruel providence to a state beyond our sight. You had previously sustained the livelihood of the inhabitants of Ushinara, and thus they were happy, but your condition now is the cause of their unhappiness. And now we have text 34. So just maybe some of you are not, some of us not into the what's going on actually here. So I'll just bring us there. Here we see queens that are crying for their dead husband, who is the king who was killed in the battlefield while bravely fighting. And why we have this? This is Hiranyakashipu telling story to whom? To his mother, Diti, and her daughter, the wife of the widow, wife of Hiranyaksha, Rusha, Bhanu, and also their 9 nephews, sons of brothers of Hiranyaksha. So these are all there, and Hiranyakashipu is consoling them. We will come back to that, just to get us where we are. So now we have text 34. Tvaya kritagena vayam mahipate. Tvaya kritagena vayam mahipate. Katham vinasyama sukhritamenate. Katham vinasyama sukhritamenate. Tatra nuyanam tava virapadayo. Tatra nuyanam tava virapadayo. Susrushati nam disayatra yasyasi. Susrushati nam disayatra yasyasi. Tvaya kritagena vayam mahipate Katham vinasyama suhritamenate Tatra nuyanam tava virapadayo Shushrusati nam dishayatra yasyasi. So Chanakya Pandit said, don't let the day pass and that you haven't learned one portion of the scriptures. One shloka, one pada at least, that means quarter of shloka usually, or at least one word, so that's something. So that's nice to consider. It inspires me always to learn something. If you learn one word a day, after a few years you will mostly know what are you singing almost. It's good to make a best use of Bhagavatam. We have it every day. So if something we have every day, then it's good to make best use of it. Hare Krishna. Okay. Tvaya. You. Kritagena. A most grateful personality. Vayam. We. Mahipate. O King. Katham. How. Vina. Without. Syama. Shall exist. Suhrit tamena. The best of our friends. Te. Of you. Tatra. There. Anuyanam. The following. Tava. Of you. Vira. O hero. Padayo. Of the lotus feet. Shusrushati nam. Of those engaging in the service. Disha. Please order. Yatra. Where. Yasyasi. You will go. Translation. O King, O hero, you were a very grateful husband and the most sincere friend of all of us. How shall we exist without you? O hero, wherever you are going, please direct us there so that we may follow in your footsteps and engage again in your service. Let us go along with you. Purport. Formerly, a Kshatriya king was generally the husband of many wives, and after the death of the king, especially in the battlefield, all the queens would agree to accept Sahamarana, dying with a husband who was their life. When Pandu Maharaj, the father of the Pandavas, died, his two wives, namely the mother of Yudhishthir, Bhima and Arjuna, and the mother of Nakula and Sahadev, were both ready to die in the fire with their husband. Later, after a compromise was arranged, Kunti stayed alive to care for the little children, and the other wife, Madri, was allowed to die with her husband. This system of Sahamarana continued in India even until the time of British rule, but later it was discouraged, since the attitude of wives gradually changed with the advancement of Kali Yuga. Thus, the system of Sahamarana has practically been abolished. Nevertheless, within the past 50 years, I have seen, Srila Prabhupada says, I have seen the wife of a medical practitioner voluntarily accept death immediately when her husband died. Both the husband and wife were taken in procession in the mourning cart. Such intense love of a chaste wife for her husband is a special case. Of course. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, Hare Krishna. Yeah, okay, so what is this? We'll again come a little bit in the context. I'll make a short breakdown of the chapter. So in the first 3 verses, the state of Hiranyakashipu is explained. His state of consciousness was, after his brother has been killed, was anger. He was extremely angry. It's called Rusha Purna. And in this, Rusha is anger and Purna is full of anger. And in this state, full of anger, he started speaking. So then we heard all those orders given by Hiranyakashipu in that state. Crazy orders, mad, isn't it? We'll recall a few of them. He said like this. Yeah, Bho Danava Daitya, he is calling all the Danavas and Daityas by their names. And then he says, my insignificant enemies, the demigods, have combined to kill my very dear and obedient well-wisher, my brother Hiranyaksha. Although the Supreme Lord Vishnu is always equal to both of us. Harina, yeah. Srila Prabhupada translates Supreme Lord. Obviously, he was not thinking like that. It's for us, as we know, the Supreme Lord. We will now see what Hiranyakashipu was thinking about Lord. The Supreme Lord Vishnu is always equal to both of us, namely the demigods and the demons. This time, being devotedly worshipped by the demigods, he has taken their side and helped them kill Hiranyaksha. So this was spoken in anger. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has given up his natural tendency of equality toward the demons and demigods. Although he is the Supreme Person, now, influenced by Maya, he has assumed the form of a boar to please his devotees, the demigods. Just as a restless child leans towards someone, I shall therefore sever Lord Vishnu's head from his trunk by my trident, and with the profuse blood from his body, I shall please my brother Hiranyaksha, who was so fond of sucking blood. Thus shall I too be peaceful. So he wants to kill Vishnu. He wants to kill Lord Vishnu. Not only that, he wants to kill everything that is auspicious for worship of Vishnu. So these are his orders. While I am engaged in the business of killing Lord Vishnu, go down to the planet Earth, which is flourishing due to Brahminical culture and a Kshatriya government. These people engage in austerity, sacrifice, Vedic study, regulative vows, and charity. Destroy all the people thus engaged. So we can imagine he was the king of all planets. This was his order. Imagine. The basic principle of Brahminical culture is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. So he was killed. This was his logic. When Lord Vishnu is killed, and he also wants to. He assumes that he can't kill Vishnu actually, because otherwise why would he order to kill all the brahmanas who worship Vishnu, or cows, demigods? How he wants to get rid of demigods? By by ending sacrifices. You think if sacrifices are not done anymore, demigods will not receive their offerings and they will fall down. So this is actually Hare Krishna Jai Shri Gaurnitai Krishna Balaram Radhashyam. This is actually, as Gita Nagari Prabhu was interestingly explaining, that he said a few days ago, like Hiranyakashipu was even missing a basic Sambandha Gyan. So on the one part we hear in verse 21, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that Hiranyakashipu possessed Vedic knowledge. He was very learned. And on the other side we see that these things are not spoken by somebody who is learned, at least in the knowledge of Supreme Lord. His body is Sachitananda Vigraha, and he wants to sever Vishnu's head and his blood. Lord Vishnu doesn't have blood. He can have it if he likes it to satisfy his devotees. He can manifest blood, but it's not necessary for him to manifest blood. So even a young devotee who just joined the movement 2 days ago, or who just hears 2 classes, he can defeat Hiranyakashipu's logic. But now we see that Hiranyakashipu is explaining amazing philosophy which is so precious for our lives. And he will continue doing so all up to the end of chapter. All up to the end of the chapter, he will first speak philosophy, and then he will quote, he will narrate the story. And he will be very successful in this. When the mother loses a child, especially if the child is killed, only mothers can know what it means. We cannot understand that kind of suffering. Only mothers can understand that kind of suffering. So it is an amazing grief. Wife also. And brothers. But Hiranyakashipu, after narrating the story and speaking to them, was effective. Their sorrow was dispelled. And they were fixed, at least it's said about Diti, she again became fixed in truth with her consciousness. Chitta tattve. His consciousness became fixed in truth, in absolute truth. So this was the effect of Hiranyakashipu's preaching. So this is a spiritual knowledge. This is a spiritual knowledge. But it is engaged not in the service of Krishna. It is just there to console the wives. This was his purpose. And this is also very interesting, isn't it? To think about, to reflect. We as the practitioners of devotional service, we are like also kind of warriors and guardians. We are trying to see our own anarthas. We try to locate them and do something with them. That's what we are trying to do. Besides preaching, we are also analyzing ourselves. So besides fighting outside, we are also fighting inside. And this is a very difficult fight. Because usually we as a human beings are very much blind to our own faults. This is especially in Kali Yuga. It's a magic of Kali. It's really magic that we will be so blind to our own faults. So this is spiritual knowledge used by Hiranyakashipu, which if studied carefully will really give us self-realization. We will be able, Srila Prabhupada in one purport here in these verses explains, and that one should carefully understand this, because it is not easy. It's not easy. It's not like, now we have learned that we are not this body, now let's go further. Yes, theoretically, yes. But if we are not this body, then don't eat today. Try to not eat and sleep today. Try to jump over the 2 meals, and then we will realize quickly that we are this body. No? Or you will realize quickly at least that the body is hungry. And we have to do something about it. No? So it's not easy. It's not easy, but still Hiranyakashipu is giving this knowledge. So we see these 2 things here. We see the gross ignorance of Hiranyakashipu. The gross ignorance. It's so funny. When you read this, you think, what? He wants to sever head of Vishnu. He wants to kill Vishnu. Even my grandfather, who expired 10 years ago or more, when he was 93 years at that time, we used to read to him about Krishna, and he was very happy. He was very strong and Kshatriya personality, but he went to 2 world wars. But when we read to him about Krishna's pastimes, and when somebody tried to kill Krishna, he would immediately start to laugh. He was so much into it, so he would laugh. Oh, what a fool. He wants to kill Krishna. He would laugh. Not in an artificial way. He was really into it. So we were so appreciating, my God, when I will be so much really into the Leelas, into them. So, even normal people, they will just, who know a little bit, they will laugh about these arguments of Hiranyakashipu and everything. But Hiranyakashipu did not laugh. He was very serious. He was so angry, everybody was afraid of him. And that happens when we are angry. Anyone got angry anytime? No need to raise your hands. When we get angry, what happens? Then we are God. Nobody is above us when we are angry. At that moment, and we speak words that we are very confident of. But others who hearing this, what they think? What? It's crazy. He's crazy. But they think we are doing proper thing. We are convinced. That's the anger. It puts us into huge illusion. It covers us completely. We think we are right. Of course, since we are devotees, very quickly we realized, I was so, my God, I was so impolite. Then we apologize. We regret. But Hiranyakashipu is a demon, very angry demon. And he did not realize that he did make any mistake. So he just, since he was expert in judging time and circumstance, you see, even if he was so angry, he saw the wives of Hiranyakashipu are crying. So then very expertly, he started consoling them. Srila Prabhupada explains, he's very expert in judging time and circumstance. That is also such important thing, and it's not easy. It's not easy. Even in delivering Krishna's message to others, even in studying ourselves, we have to see the circumstances of the things. We cannot just, isn't it? We cannot just apply everything everywhere. It just doesn't fit. It's not life. Life is not like that. Life is actually quite complex. And even we have a spiritual master, we have devotees, we cannot ask them every single moment what we will do, isn't it? We can't. Sometimes they're not around, they have to act immediately. So we depend also very much on our guidance within. Guru, same Guru, within the heart. He's teaching through spiritual master, as a spiritual master and as a super soul. It says they are equal manifestations of Krishna. So they speak the same things. The super soul then gives guidance. Or sometimes, or more often, sometimes mind also gives guidance, isn't it? Once one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, no, actually, sorry, this was in Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains, how can we know when something is Krishna and when something is Maya? Is a common question, isn't it? Very often. How can I know if something is Krishna and something is Maya? If I'm supposed to do something, is this good or is it not? Okay, we can ask Guru if we are fortunate. we can refer to scriptures, to our memory, we can ask other devotees. But sometimes we are in a situation, nobody is around, and we have to act quickly, isn't it? We have to act quickly. There's no time. So how to know? So the only thing that will help us is our own level of sincerity. Usually. Our own level of sincerity will help us. And humility. Then Krishna gives, we can hear some good message. And Srila Prabhupada explains that we will know if our Krishna consciousness increases, then it is Krishna. If our Krishna consciousness decreases by this decision, then it is Maya. Srila Prabhupada's so simple and clear answers. So whatever we do in our day or in our moments, we can immediately see if our Krishna consciousness has decreased or increased, isn't it? We can so easily detect. And then we know, okay, this wasn't so good decision. For when you're brahmachari, it's very, the biggest problem in brahmachari life, what is? I overate again. I took too much prasadam. That's the only problem, the biggest. No more problems. I had 15 years of brahmacharya ashram, so I know something. Grihastha problems are a little more extended. Especially when children are there, I don't know, I don't have them. Those who have them, they know very well how problems are extended when you have children. So then it's much more difficult to bring decisions. When you're brahmachari, it's easy to see and bring decisions. It's much more easy. There are very little things that we are dealing with. Very little things. Whether it's just have I overate, or have I carefully done my sadhana? We can just easily concentrate on our things. As a grihastha, there are much more distractions, much more things we have to take care of. And definitely then it's much more difficult. So, Kamsarupa Prabhu yesterday in Bhagavad-Gita, he was explaining that, he said, interesting thing, as a grihastha, you don't think like, I will relax a little bit now. No, when you are entering grihastha, you should think like, now I'm going to do more than before, and that's actually what's going on. You're going to do more whether you want it or not. You're going to do more because you're dealing with more things. You think I will relax? Whatever ashram we are, if you think I will relax, what happens? That's life, isn't it? Why is it like that? Who likes pizza? Anybody likes pizza? Chips, potato chips. Anybody likes? Why why they are not medicine? If you are sick, you just eat pizza and potato chips, you become healthy. Why this world is not arranged in such a way, It will be so much nicer. You just eat the pizza, you eat chips, and you get healthy. But that's not healthy food. Why? Why Krishna didn't make it such a way that is healthy food, and all these, halwa, deep fried sabjis with paneer, like here in India. I remember many years back, it used to be paneer sabji. Some paneer would be inside, and after some time there is only sabji without paneer. Everybody's taking only paneer. Then nobody takes sabji anymore because there's no paneer inside, only some liquid shak. But now I see with the time, it's paneer sabji means really paneer sabji. It's only paneer. It's usually it's only paneer, so you can't. If it is gone, it's gone. What I wanted to say by this, So, if you eat a lot of paneer, drink a lot of kheer, especially after the feast, in the end of the feast, there is what? Sweet rice. And if you drink sweet rice, in the end of your meal, you eat pakoras, samosas, all kinds of things, you drink nice 2-3 cups of sweet rice. What's going to happen? You'll be happy. And it's nice. If you sleep on a holy place, it's like what? It's like offering dandavat. This probably refers to sleeping on the ground, isn't it? In the Shastra, I don't think the bed is mentioned. If you sleep on the ground, then it's like offering dandavat. It's so merciful, this holy place. You take nice Krishna Prasad and you sleep. After you wake up, okay, you do service, it's fine. But if after wake up you feel, I shouldn't do this again. I will not do this again. And then the mind says inside, we don't hear it, but he says, until tomorrow. Until the day after tomorrow. So that's how life is, And why it is made like this? Why we get so unhealthy by eating nice things? Why we don't get healthy? Why we don't get healthy? So we can, by little reflecting, we can immediately understand, this life is meant for something else. I'm in trap. We are in a trap. And this life is meant for something else. Not for this type of enjoyment. It's not meant for this type of enjoyment. We will have some enjoyment whether we want it or not. We will have it always. It's nature of the soul. But it's just not meant for it. This human life is not meant for this kind of enjoyment. And then we can see that now where we are in kirtan, dancing, preaching, dancing, worshipping deities, and serving devotees, or cleaning, doing all the things, nice, seva, how we feel. Especially in kirtan, everyone feels happy. You don't think about eating usually. You don't think about eating in ecstatic kirtan. Especially if it is some appearance day, some big festival, Ratha Yatra, If you are in the middle of kirtan, you don't think about pizza. Maybe later you can think about nice sabji. I don't know in India what is your favorite food. Usually paneer sabji, isn't it? What's more there for devotees? Mahaprasadam for our India. In India, I don't know what's your what you are caught by, where Cupid hits you. In the West, it's usually pizza. This Cupid hits you with all attractive. As Srila Prabhupada used to say about eggplant, deep fried eggplant, Srila Prabhupada used to say, all attractive. All attractive. So, because life is not meant for just sense enjoyment, and we can easily realize that. That's why we joined the movement of Krishna consciousness. Mostly we were searching for something more. We were not satisfied with this. And this because our life, our births brought us to that point. Brought us to that point, and then we got the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada. The knowledge. He gave us this knowledge. I always thought, when I was a boy, you know this bone here? You can even hear it on the mic, Knock, 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 this bone.
Collarbone.
Yeah, how call it?
Collarbone.
Collarbone, thanks. Yeah, collarbone. You just hit a little bit on that bone. You can easily, this is not me. This is not me. That's how I was thinking when I was a boy. This is not me. This is not I. Then I would speak with my friends. Oh, but we are speaking. So this one who is speaking, that's me. But who is that? Who we are? We were asked like this. And many children have this question. I don't know if you know the statistics. Many of children who are between 3 and 5, they remember their past lives. There are a lot of instances. Even I have my neighbor where I live, that small girl, when she was 2.5, 3 years old, she spoke to their parents. Their parents don't know anything about spiritual life. They are not interested. And she thought to them, Mom, you know that I could choose. I had more moms to choose. And I decided, you will be my mom. Do you know that, ma'am? Oh, yes, so nice. The parents, they don't get it seriously, But usually it's like this. Sometimes pious souls, they can choose not. You can choose whether you want, this way or that way. You cannot choose too much, but something. According to your karma, you can make some choice. And usually we do this choice, we forget it. So, and she would also say, Mom, when we die, we live again. And they would get scared. What? What is child saying? They would get scared. Their grandmother, she spoke to me like this because I spoke to her a little bit about spiritual life. So she told me this, and she said, "That's amazing." Yeah? I said, "Yeah, you see, it's natural. It's natural. We remember." And little children, they don't even know that they are this body. You don't even know that they are this body. I have good memories in my babyhood, so I would try to go under the table without bowing, because I thought it's above my eyes, and I would just go and hit in the head. Oh, you understand? You want to pass under the table, you are small, and you think, yeah, I'll easily pass. It's just my eyes are just little below it, and you hit in the table because you don't think you have a forehead. You don't think about it. You don't think you are tired. You don't know what it means to be tired, You just run, play all day. Anybody remembers that? Yeah. Somebody. I have a clear, I just can remember a proper year when I started getting tired. It was when I was 7. Before I was 4 or 5. No way, You can run all day in and out. You can wrestle, like I was wrestling with other guys, senior ones. We would wrestle, and they would not like to wrestle with me because I was too young, and they would lose their reputation. If this young boy, kid, wins because they was so you can see how we are gradually becoming limited more and more, If even in this state, if I would come to this state where I'm now, immediately from that state, it would be so frustrating. I think I would end up in a mental hospital. Definitely. Because after some time you get so many limitations. For example, I would not be able to drink this water if it is cold. I will have to break my class and go somewhere and come back again, How they say restroom, In England they say restroom. It's very polite, I didn't know what it means. Restroom, I thought, oh, nice, you're gonna rest. Restrooms are there. I was going there and thought, oh, I will rest, nice, Then I thought, no, it's toilet. We try to put all the things, all the things that reminds us of our miserable life. We try to put it away, because it's just not comfortable. Life is just not comfortable when we know where we are in. Whatever comes out of us is not nice, except the words of if you speak nice words, loving words, that can be nice. If you speak about Krishna, share our hearts, but everything else that comes out of us is not so nice. Is actually making us want to leave as soon as possible. Do these things, hygiene things. You do as soon as possible, and you do your things. So we are becoming limited, and so gradually we are becoming more and more limited. And then the old age comes, we are quite limited, so much limited. But since it happened gradually, we can tolerate. We can tolerate. We can adapt. Otherwise, we would have a hard time. So it's very discomfortable living in this world. It's very discomfortable. So Bhagavatam is there, the spiritual knowledge is there to give us guidance and inspiration to live a spiritual life, to go for it. We join the movement, and then what? When we join, we are on the train, and now it's like a catapult, and now we are in a safe position where we can easily make an excursion to spiritual sphere. How that happens? You know how that happens? By sacrifice. By sacrifice in Krishna consciousness. When we do some sacrifice in Krishna consciousness, and we do it long enough, isn't it? If you just chant one round, it may be blissful. If you chant more rounds, it's not so blissful anymore. But if you chant many rounds, it becomes again blissful. So the whole spiritual life is like this, isn't it? If you do something just... Anybody interested in astrology? Maybe. Yeah. It's so attractive. It's amazing, But if you go a little more into it, you will see, oh, okay. Okay, thank you. There's so many things there. Of Sanskrit, it can be, oh, I would like to learn Sanskrit. But if you start going into it, you will see so many rules. You will think, oh, okay, thank you. It's nice, but thank you. If you enter a little bit into Krishna consciousness, we'll say, oh, it's so nice. But we see more into it, oh. Yeah. But when we do that, then we come to the real thing. We need to dig a little bit. We need to dig a little bit more. And in our movement, we have this nice opportunity. And some people, they get it only a few times. Sometimes our life circumstances are such, you get only a few times this opportunity to rise up. We have this opportunity, especially in a holy place, we have it every day. Every day we are on a safe platform from where we can just... You all know, we all know, no? We all have that voice inside that tells us something that we don't obey completely. That tells us something we are running away from. And he says, fully surrender. Fully surrender. Why? Because I want to be happy. The soul inside says, I want to enjoy fully, completely. And how can I enjoy completely? By fully surrender. Fully, completely. No rest, nothing is left. That's our soul's hankering for. If we do it once, we will remember our whole life. No, it's not you should be fully surrender every day. We preach like that. But if you do it once, completely, you know what I say? Completely. You will remember all your life. And that's our goal. We want to do this at least once, twice, thrice, and remember it for all our life. I'm sorry, I was not onto my topic. I went somewhere else. And it was about Sahamarana and about wives entering. The whole text was about that. So I apologize about that. I could speak about it now, but time is off and most of you will have your services. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anybody has a burning question? Yeah. Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Granth Raj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.